wait, I think it has started. So, okay, let's get it. Yeah. So today I'm not showing you that I went here and here to create folders and files, but just to know that I've created a folder week 8, and which has Tuesday, where I'm going to put the files. So if I go to VS Code, here's my Tuesday where I'm going to put my index.php, and immediately I can open the PHP, but let me start with a boilerplate for HTML. And I put the PHP mentorship conditional statements 2. Yeah, now I'll put a section here, give it a class of container, and close the section. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. All right. So we said that we are going to look at the if else. No, we said we are going to look at the if else if else. We can first stop here at the if else if, and then we shall look at the if else here. So what we are going to do is the way the if else if works is that if the condition in the if statement passes, the code block in the if gets executed. However, if it doesn't, if the condition is false, the code in else if will be checked if the condition in the else if is working. So in other words, it will be like saying if, like, let me say, if it rains, you know, say it could be like saying that, let me just put some comments here. You know, it's like saying if it is raining, then block of code carry umbrella, carry warm clothes. Then we can say, you can say wear gumboots, you know. Then you can say if else, no, you can say else if it's not raining, carry warm clothes. Am I writing the right spelling of warm? Warm clothes, which just in case, you know. And so that's how the if else if would work. So it depends on two conditions. It's not like, I mean, that's how the if else if works. It depends on two conditions. It's not like the if else. The if else checks one condition. If that condition is true, it executes the code in the true block. Otherwise, it executes the code in the else block. But for this one, if the code in the if does not pass and the code in the else if does not pass, nothing is done. So for example, we can put here, salary. How do they call it? No. Income, increment what? Rating, increment rate. So, and we say 7, then we say here, if increment rate above 6, we shall open and start the block of code. We can say, if it's above, then echo inform the team member, okay? And then you can break the line. Oh, I don't even need to, yeah, here. You can break the line, then you can say echo echo, then do what? Next month, pay with the salary increment, okay? Then we can say, else if increment if increment rate is below 7 and above increment rate above 5, then we can echo team member is close to salary increment. Else if increment rate is below 5, echo warning, contract might be terminated soon. Okay, so something like that. We can even put another else if. So after doing all of that, you put the end if. So what am I doing here? Oh, I need to close the PHP here. What am I doing in this case? What I'm doing here, I'm assuming that there's a company where they score people every month to determine if their salary will be incremented, and they have a score which is between 0 up to 10. So I say, if the increment rate is above, actually, let me just say above or equal to 7, greater or equal to 7, then inform the team member that they reached, no, maybe congratulate team member upon performing great performance. Yeah. Then next month, pay with the salary increment. So you can even let them know what is salary increment they're gonna get. Then if the rating is below 7, but above 5, yeah, I know this is another operator that you've not. This is another operator that you've not looked at, the ampersand, which is double without space. We are going to look at an alternative of the same. So I think these are called logical operators. There is the ampersand and there is the or. So the ampersand means and there is a pipe, a double pipe, which means or. So here we are saying if the increment is less than 7, but greater than 5. So that means that this salary increment should be 6. So you'd have put here if increment equals to 6, but I wanted to do it in the interest of using this operator, all right? However, when the salary is below 5, the increment rate is below 5, we issue the warning. So what do you think we're gonna see on the screen if we go to test? Anyone likes to volunteer and give us an answer?
First put the code and read through it.
Yes, there you go. So are you done reading?
I think it's going to print all of it.
Are you sure?
Okay, the increment rate is 7. The first one says if the rate is greater or equal to 7, we congratulate the team member on the performance. And if it is not, if it is less than 7, it's going what is it called? I've forgotten the name.
It's
yes,
the ampersand, but it means
ampersand. Okay. Team member is close to salary increment. Elseif contract might be terminated soon. I think it's going to print the first one.
Okay.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the increment rate is greater or equal to 7.
Okay.
The rest are all less. That is my answer. Let me hear from other people.
Thank you very much, Fanny. Yeah. So other members? Can
I try? Can I participate?
Yes, feel free. Feel free to participate.
Fanny, what did you say is the answer?
Don't copy.
Okay, let's read the code. Increment rate equals to 7. If increment rate is greater or equal to 7, echo congratulate team member upon great performance. Else, echo.
You've not read that properly. Else.
Okay, it's not else.
Come again. Unfortunately, I can't.
Break salary increment. Else if increment rate is less than 7 and at the same time and increment rate is greater than 5. So less than 7 and greater than 5. That means that is, if it's less than 7, we have 6. Greater than 5, we still have 6. Team member is close to salary increment. Else if increment rate is less than 5, warning, contract might be terminated soon. So I expect this to print the first, expect the first statement to be executed of the one for the
Okay.
first condition.
Okay. All right. That's
Yes.
good. So it sounds like we are understanding. Mr. Steven, are you there? Probably it's not there. But let's go to the browser and see.
David,
Yes, please,
David,
sir. Yes.
what was the question?
The
I was
question was,
absent-minded. Yeah.
oh, okay. The question was, what do you think is going to be printed out based on these conditions from line number 21 to line number 29?
Line number 21 to line 29.
Yes.
I don't know where I was during this lesson. Okay, let me see.
You were.
I'm seeing a increment rate equals 7.
Yes.
If it is greater than or equal to 7, they will bring congratulate. Yeah. And next, then if it is less than 7 and less than 5, close to salary. Now, penny else. Now, where is the question?
We want to know what is gonna.
David.
Yes, we want to know.
I'm seeing on the increment rate is equal to 7. Hello?
Yes.
That is it. We call that a variable.
Yes, a variable and initialization. Yes,
it is going to bring, we are going to congratulate the team member.
Why have you first laughed? Okay. So
you bring your browser and we see.
You yes, the browser is indeed showing us that. You see, it's showing us that we are congratulating member upon great performance.
Performance.
Yes, so if we change here, if we change this to 3, okay. If we change that to 3,
it's going to bring a warning. Warning contract might be terminated soon.
Okay, that's now perfect. So that's how the if else if works, and you have to make sure that to use it you need to have more than one condition statement that you want to execute. But there's also another way of running the if else statement by nesting it. Okay, so let's look at that way, and we do the same thing, the similar thing we've done here, but
David,
using, yes please.
David,
do you hear me?
Is it because it's like people were debating over this thing, eh?
Which thing?
This all from line 21 to 29, eh? When you asked a question, eh? It's like it had not sunk well in us. Why don't we just get another example again? Another example before you bring the nested, or why it is simpler?
I think it will help us grasp, but also don't forget we've recorded. So sometimes, yeah, sometimes I think for people to grow faster, we may have to use different modes of delivering the content to see. Yeah. Okay, so this one, we are going to say the nested if else statement, but we want to achieve the similar thing that we've achieved there. So what we would say, in fact, I'm going to copy all of this code over here, put it here, and yes, paste it. And okay, so it's like Peter's joined. I'm not so sure. If you've joined, Peter, thank you. You are welcome. So we want to try and do we want to nest the if else statement. So we shall remove. Now, instead of removing them, the way we nest is that, let me use the curly brackets, because if I use this notation, it might become harder. So we write an if inside, we write an if inside an if. That's why we call it a nested. So you can see that the if on line 37 is within the if of line 34. So whereby, oh, excuse me. So whereby we are saying that if the, how do we call it? If the increment rate is greater than 7, echo out these things over here, okay? Then instead of putting this other if, we shall put it in the else. Then we shall say else, okay, else, and so this condition, should it come? Yeah. So this one moves away. And we say else, if the salary increment is less than 7 and increment is greater than 5, echo team member. Else, echo the warning. Okay. So you can see, yes, I made a mistake here. When you use the curly brackets, before you open the else, you need to put a curly bracket, because curly brackets have to be pairs, okay? Now, yeah. This, and the else. So why is it? Okay, let's save it. So this is it, that if this passes, all of this block from line number 37 up to line number 43 is not going to be executed. If this fails, then they will come to this block of code. But when they come to this block of code, it has ifs in it. So they will check the if inside it. And if the if inside it fails, they will go with the else. All right. So if we say that we have 10, okay, at the increment rate, what do you think we're gonna get?
We get the first condition executed.
Okay. Could you
because
explain?
The condition, because the first if statement states that if the increment rate is greater or equal to 7, so we can see that the increment rate is 10, which is greater than 7. So it will echo that first if. That's why.
Oh, great. Great. That's a great explanation. And so it will be upon you which one looks smarter that you go with, because it's in rare cases that both of them cannot work. It's in rare cases. You find that where the if else works, the nested if else will work. So it's upon you to look at what's smarter, but you can also, as you advance, you can also look at something called space and time complexity and find out which one takes more space and time complexity, and you avoid it and use the one which is better. The other reason why we learn alternatives is because you may land on existing code, and I think that's what you should think about so much, because we are in the world where software have been written already. So since software have been written, you have higher chances of working on existing software than working on new software. So if you find something like this, you shouldn't be surprised. And if you find something like this, you shouldn't be surprised. You should be comfortable to work with them. Okay, let's test and see if the first one passes. So I'll refresh over here. And like Fanny said, yes, the block of code in the if block has been executed. Okay. And there are also, hello?
Hey, David,
Yes.
is it okay if we use some real life example, like school grades? That if someone gets above this, that's a D1, and then stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, it's possible. It's really, really possible. Let me see. We are going to use it in another condition statement. Okay. We are going to use it in another condition statement. But before we do that, I'll give you a challenge. Okay. Before we do that, I'll give you a challenge. Okay. And this challenge goes, did I give you a challenge last time? And everybody has kept silent about it or not? Because it's like I gave. Okay, so what should be the challenge? So that's the first one. You design a web page using the if statement. Design a web page that shows whether someone's temperature is too high or too low. Okay, that's challenge number one. Then challenge number two. That does what? That will tell us if the car is over speeding or at normal speed or under speed. Okay. Yeah, you do those tasks. I'll send you the code after here, but you can also go and watch the stream and be able to find them there. Now we are going to use a switch statement and make sure that we learn how to use it. So I'm getting some feedback. the switch statement. So the switch statement, the way it works is that we write it as switch condition. Is it condition or item? I think it's a switch. Then I don't remember what we put here, but I can say value, variable. Then we open the curly brackets and close them. Then we can say here, we put a case and we say if the case is 1, then block of code this block of code. And after the break of code, we use a special keyword from PHP that ends the switch statements case, which is break. So, and then we write another case. And then we write a block of code if case 2 is true. Then we break. And after breaking and exhausting the conditions, we can put the default, okay? The default and run block of code. This block of code will be executed if any of the cases does not pass. So how can we use this? We can use this in your scenario. You said, please give us a use case, Mr. Steven, and I write it down. Hello, Mr. Steven, Mr. Dumba, are you there?
I'm there, but
I need the use case that you wanted us to use.
Yeah, the use case. For example, we can say that a student who scores above 90 gets a D1.
Okay, student marks. And how are those called? A grade? Are they called grades? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and grades. So you said, so we have, let's get a student. You said student marks and then grades. Okay. So let's get the marks range. The range. So the range is, you say who gets a D1?
91 to 100 is a D1.
Okay. That's a D1.
Yeah. Then 80 to 90, a D2.
Okay.
How many do you need?
We shall need up to the F. We shall use them. F.
Up to the F.
Yeah, is it F9? Is it F1?
Yeah, F9. Yeah. Then I'm just giving this for easy ranges.
Yeah.
Let me put 71 to 79. But I'm making a mistake. It was D1 is 91 to 100. So this should be 81 to 90. 81 to 90, then 71 to 80. 71 to 80, let's give that one a credit 3, C3. Then 61 to 70, a C4.
Okay.
Then 51 to 60, a credit 5.
To 60?
Yeah,
okay.
Credit 5. Then 41 to 50. 41 to 50, a credit 6.
Oh, is there a credit 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
About credit 6. But Grade is 6, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then 31 to 40, a pass 7. 31 to 40, a pass 7.
Okay.
This really shows that we finished school over which years. Then 21 to 30, pass 8. 21 to 30, pass 8. Then
then right.
20
Then the list is
to 0.
0
20 to
0
0.
to 20. 0 to 20.
0 to 20, F9.
How?
And if possible, the one who did not do, what do we do?
During our times,
There is that person who did not even score a 0.
They used to give them
How do you know
Uganda.
that?
They used to give them Uganda, if I remember. So mine they get to you. Yeah.
How are you going to do that? Because a person who did not come got a 0. And even the one who attempted and got a 0, are they the same?
The one who did not attend does not get a mark. That's it.
And what of the one who attended and got 0?
The one who attended and got 0, in terms of points, the one will get to F9, but the other one who did not attend will be ungraded. That's what they call the Uganda.
Okay, it will confuse us. Let us end at F9. Let us end at 0.
Yeah, but I remember that grade for me when I was studying, it was there. And and being kids, we could laugh at other people. This world. And usually those people who could get those marks are the adults. Oh.
The big guys, the tall ones.
Yeah. So anyway, what we are going to do now, this is a good one, and it is going to conclude our session tonight. So we are going to, you can see the syntax of the switch statement, all right? And it says that switch variable and then the case, all right? So the variable we are going to have is called max, okay? Or let's say student max. And for now, we are going to give it 0, okay? Then we shall switch, we shall put a switch, and here we put the student max. Then we open the brackets and say case. So you see these ranges you've spoken about, the 90 to whatever, the 91 to 100 are the ones we shall put at the case. So we are, how will this case be like? We know that this case is the whatever must be equal or greater than 91 and equal or less than guys, and equal or less than 100. So that means that we shall come here and say equal case. How do we write that case of greater or equal to 90? So I think it should be greater or equal to 91 or, that's how we write the or, less or equal to 100. Then we put a colon, a full colon, not a semi, you know, and then we say we can now echo got D1 and terminate. Then we shall also write the break. So this break stops the condition, the switch statement. The moment it finds the break for the case that passed, what's going to happen is that it will, what is going to happen is that it will stop executing or checking other cases. That's the importance of the break. But there's also something called a continue, which we might see in the future. So, okay, or you may research about, okay, now I've gotten to know what task to give you. A third one. And research and describe what a break and continue statements are in PHP, what's their purpose, and give an example that you can break down on the whiteboard. Okay, so when we say the whiteboard, that means that you have to break down even if you don't have a computer. All right, so looks like I wrote this condition wrongly, and I'll use the help of I'll use the help of what? The help of the browser to search about putting switch statement with switch statement in PHP. Or I just want to get a use case where something is bigger. I mean, it's a range like the one we are trying to do, because these ones just have one thing. And let's see, it looks like, that's why I don't like these things of that's why I don't like these things of what? Of W3 schools that much, because they have really, really limited. Looks like we don't have something like that. Start equals -1. So this is a comparison actually. So, okay. I think I get it. So what we're gonna do, we shall put here, since we are comparing
The variable.
A variable, and here, and then save. Yes. So that's how it's gonna work. Then we gonna have to bring this one, another case, because we want to exhaust them. The other case was 81 up to 90, right? So this is D2. And then I'll duplicate this, and D2
71 to 80.
71 to 80. That's what? Credit 3?
Yeah, credit 3.
Okay, then duplicate. Then this is 61 to 70.
61 to 70.
Yeah, I like that.
Credit 4.
Come again?
Yeah, that's it.
Then this is credit 5, and it's 50. 1 to 60.
1 to 60.
Then this one is 41.
41 to 50.
And that is C6.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have another one. which is this
31 to
past
40, past 7.
Okay. And then we have two more, which is past 8. It is from 21. Hello? Is it 21 to 30?
30.
Then F9.
Then 0. 0.
Up to 20.
20.
Yeah, then the default is the one where we are going to put ungraded. Or not graded. Yeah. So then we shall put the last break, and yeah, and we shall save. So you see, everything we've done here can be done in an if statement, okay? Because you can have if, else, if, else, if until you finish. But then you can find that this syntax of the switch looks to be more smarter for such long comparisons. Okay, so our student has marks of 0. So what do you think is we're gonna see on the browser? Hello? Am I with you?
Yes,
Okay.
still reading through.
Okay. Yeah. So oh, today I can see someone new. I think that's who? Trevor. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Trevor. You're welcome. And Peter, I had welcomed you, but I don't know if you heard my welcome or if you are able to talk. So are you guys still looking at reading the code, or are you done?
This one is tricky.
Okay, so let me explain it again. So we have the student marks that we hold on. Someone wants to say something. Yes, go ahead.
I'm done reading.
Okay, and have you understood?
Yes.
So okay, what do you think is the output?
Is the output. Scroll down. Scroll down. Greater than 0. I think got F9 is the output.
Okay. Okay. The thing. All right. So let's go to the browser and we see. So the browser, go here Oh, wait a moment. I did not really separate I did not really separate this from, so I should put here H1, the switch, state. I think it shouldn't even be at this level. Should be before the comments, before these comments here. So I'll have to put it around here, but I need to close the comment and then things will start being right. Okay, so I just wanted to have a heading, you know, and then I can output. All right, let's just what a lot of people in the chat. Hi everyone, I'm Trevor. I don't understand anything. Sorry, I'm trying to turn on my mic, but it's bringing some noisy sound. Sorry, Trevor. Yeah, you found it. You found us in the middle because we started some long time ago. So anyway, let's yeah. So I think Sharon, you are right that we get uh we got not graded. We got not graded.
I got not graded.
Yeah, why? Why is it that we might have used a wrong comparison somewhere? So if it's 0 and here we say if equal, so I think here instead of using or, it must be and, because it's a strict, it doesn't really mm, uh-huh.
Yes.
Then
I was
let me
going
also
to ask.
that why did we use the or? Yeah, the or brings us issues because if the left condition doesn't pass, it might ignore the right condition. But this one must make sure that this condition here and this condition here both pass. Okay, so let's see. D1.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah, D1, why? I think let me see. And student marks less or equal, greater. So the problem is with, did I use the wrong, the right whatever here? Okay, so what we're gonna do, let me first, hey, maybe there's, what is someone saying here? Is this HTML language? Uh, Trevor, this is not HTML. This is a mixture of HTML and PHP. Yes. So I want to see. Hmm. Let me, looks like we've over, but it should work maybe. So let me try to enclose them let me try to enclose them in the brackets, and we see. Probably I'm doing something wrong that I'm not seeing. Okay. So let me go back to the browser, and so still stuck to grade 1. And what I'll do, I'll try, I will remove the right condition for now and see. Did I save? It's like I'm not, oh yeah, I saved. So why is it still bringing D1? Yet the student max is, yes.
I think
Hmm.
I'm just thinking we should
Yes,
cross-check
please.
with the condition for outputting 0.
For outputting 0, this one, student max greater or equal to 0, and student max less or equal to 20. By the way, when we say and student max less or equal to 20, the question is, this is where,
First,
because if I use the and yet the 20 max, okay, it's like doing this that I've done. It's like saying that we have two variables called student max, you get, yet we have one variable. So if I use the and, that's what it literally means. Hmm? So, but you were saying something, Sharon. What's that? Sharon?
I would put the
Hmm.
or
Would put the or.
operator
Mhm.
and the last condition.
In the last condition, oh, the last condition only.
Mm.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Um, let's see. Mm-mm, mm-mm. We cannot get not graded. We cannot get not graded. We cannot get not graded. So looks like, let me check over here and I see equals true, true, true. So if student mark, okay, let's go here and see what people have. It looks like, looks like no one has a use case like ours in this. And look at this one. I'm just trying to look for, I was looking for an example where someone, okay, I'm gonna say, how do they call them? Logic PHP, logical operators in switch statement. Let's see how to use in switch. Okay, let's see if we have it. So yeah, something like this. So use the or operator in switch case. Now let's see another example of using the operator. The output will be as follows: option equals 1, option equals 1, or option equals 2. Then you have this option is this. Then maybe it's the default that I've written wrongly, but I'll see. Let me see here. It doesn't have the default, and Okay. Yeah, excuse me, guys.
Can I see the code again? Just small.
Yeah, you're going to see. I just want to see if I wrote the default case right. You might have written, yeah, the default. Oh, after the default, there's no break. Okay. So, yeah, the code is there, Sharon. Mm, the code
I
is
think,
there. Mm,
I think
mm,
this is what I'm thinking, just
yeah.
the way we've written that condition. For example, and student marks is greater than or equal to 91. And then we say, and student mark.
And we reverted the and, we moved away from the and we went to the to the or. So the other thing is this.
It's supposed to.
Yeah, the other thing is this. We are supposed to have, now I've gotten it. These cases, they are not like, how can I explain it? What the result of this, okay? The result of this is either false or true. Now, if the result is either false or true, yet the marks are not false or true, then these conditions are really, really differing. In fact, what happens is that then our comparison becomes really hard. So what we have to do is
Coach,
yes,
did you put a break after the default?
the default, yeah, I put, but I've just removed it.
But
I've just removed
mine
it.
is working as expected.
And what do you have?
I just have a break there after the default.
And are they like this?
No, without brackets.
Without brackets. Yeah, without brackets. But then I'm wondering, okay, what I'm wondering is that, what do you have here? You have 0.
Oh yeah, there.
Line
Yes.
16.
Let me see. Yes, I have 0.
Yeah, because, okay, Kakati, this is what happens, guys. One of the values we are supposed to get here, okay, one of the values we are supposed to get here is supposed to be the value, one of the values here. So David, when yours works as expected, I'm even wondering how it's able to. So for example, let's take it lightly without the comparisons first, okay? I'm going to take it light. Let me remove the comparison so that I justify my reasoning. So I'm going to put here 91 for now. Then here, I'm going to put the DIT was at 81, right? And was at 71. So I'm not putting the ranges. Then, yeah, then what? 61. I'll go with 61 for now. 51. So Mukulu David, I don't know how yours works as expected. Yeah? Or what is something we do different?
Maybe I share a screen.
Yeah, I'm going to, yeah, I think. Let me see here. Yeah, available to share. You can share. Okay, you can share. Have you shared? Oh, do I need to stop sharing on my side?
Maybe I've shared. It is showing me that I've shared this site.
Okay. Sharon, thank you. Okay, let me first stop mine. Yours, okay. So let's see with yours. Yeah, this is exactly what we had earlier. Okay, now let's go. Could you scroll at the top, please, David? Okay, there. Okay.
Oh, I think I've seen something. Okay.
Mm.
Like I had used Gundis. I should have used full columns.
Yeah, yeah. So
Sorry.
that's, yeah. Mm. That's where the challenge is. That's where we are. Okay. Okay. You see, they now bring ungraded. Okay, just like us. So let me share mine and then give an explanation. Okay.
Yes.
Where share?
But why are we putting a break after default?
Why? Oh, where? Come again.
I
Come
see it
again,
has a
Sharon.
break after default.
He has, yeah, he has,
I've
because I
removed
put
it.
it there. Yeah. So now, if I have this, we are most likely to get the F9. Let's check. And then we shall find a way of, you see, the F9 is coming. Now, let me tell you that the value that's in your variable, which variable you have in the switch, is the same value you have to compare with. So what this thing at this level, it's checking is the student max equals to 91. That's what it's checking here. But our previous condition, okay, like if I put our previous condition, which was case, we had a case of student max greater or equal to 91, or student max less or equal to 100. Now this one, the answer it will result into, the result will be true or false. You see, now the true or false, if you compare it to 0, it's not 0. You get? So that's why the other stuff was not working, because this expression here will either give us a true or a false. Okay? If this statement gives us a true, all right, and this statement gives us a true, that true is compared to the value we have here. Now, when you compare, if you compare true and 0, you don't get, they don't match, you know. And if you compare false and 0, still they don't match, because false can be converted to 0, but they are not the same data types. So our way of comparing was wrong. There's another way we would have compared, but it's a little bit advanced that I want to show you here. But I think what do we do in this case? In this case, what we'll do, that's why you see that this guy, there's a guy who we saw the example. There's an example which had the option, I think, where did that guy go? The guy was using, I had used the logical operators. in switch statement PHP. Okay, so the guy had, I think the guy was in the other one. I think the guy was here. So if you see his example, okay, here it says that option equals to 1 or option equals to 2. Now it gives him this, but I'm telling you that this worked. Simple, actually tutorials can also be leading. This worked because he has only one condition. He has only one case here. But if he added the other cases down, it's most likely that, yeah, in fact, okay, it's most likely that he would get this first option only, and his whatever wouldn't run if he had put other cases. So we should be very, very, very careful and make
Good.
sure that we understand things. Yes.
Maybe the booleans evaluate to 1 and 0. Maybe that's why it passed.
The Boolean.
Yeah, the Boolean type. Maybe don't they evaluate to 1 and 0? Okay, if it's true, it's a 1. Or...
Yeah, they can be coerced to 0 and 1. They can be coerced to 0 and 1. You are totally right. And that would bring us the whatever, because, but then I want you to see that where I wouldn't really agree with it. Yeah, I would agree with it, because this is what would make me agree with you, is that if this one, if we say student marks greater than or equal to 99 to 91, they give us false. Okay. And if the false might be converted to 0, because what we are converting with is an integer. Okay. And they will give us the D1. Okay. And this would mean that, you know what? You've done a wrong comparison. So, but there is something we would do, which is known as the range, checking in the range. But guys, you've not yet reached arrays, so I don't want to take you there. Okay, I don't want to take you there. However, I believe that using an average, there's a possibility of getting, using an average to determine who is in D1, who is in D2, who is in whatever. Because I think when you add 81 plus 90 and divide by 2, I think the value you get is not the same as when you get 91 plus what? Plus 100 divided by 2. You know, anyone who knows math can help us. If what we get is different, that's another way that we, the beginners, would do it. We would simply just do whatever here. We would put something like this. Okay. Divide by 2. And if the value that comes out is equal to what is, but if it can't be equal, because it will keep changing the range. So it has to be equal or greater, and still that won't work. So our switch would only handle it this way. Okay, this is when you can decide to say, let me use the if else if. Okay, because the if else if we would use it the same way we did the previous one, the previous switch, and we would get the correct things. Actually, let me implement it here. But have you got my explanations? Because I hear a lot of silence, which means people could be too confused now.
It's sinking slowly.
Okay, so for the if else, if would this would work. David, have you got me?
Yes, I've got you, coach.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you. Now we would bring this here and say if the student marks, this was 801 to 90. And then this would give us echo a what? Echo got D2. Actually, this class was supposed to be short, but it ended up being long simply because of, but it's okay. Yeah. So, and I prefer to put them here. I think here they look more neater on new lines. This is C3, and then duplicate, and this is a C4. If it's 61 to 70, then a C5 if it's 51 to 60, and 41 to 50. That is a C6, huh? Right? So here we have a what, past 7, 30 to 40, 21 to 30 is past 8. And then we want the F9. Which is what? Which is F9 is 0 to 20. And then we have the else. If there's no marks, then this we shall get echo not graded. Okay. So yeah, so let me just maybe make it H2 here, and then we can proceed. Then we can check. So you see that got F9, and if I now go and change the student marks, if I change the student marks here to maybe student marks to maybe 65, then the second thing will give us a different mark. And we can even make it better by saying that, by saying student marks. I'll put it here, I'll put it here, student, echo. Excuse me, I'll say student marks is, then and I'll do this and say student marks, because I want it to be output student marks, and then I'll put a comma, and then we bring the grade. So let's see if this one works, because there's something new I've brought in which you've not seen, but it is working. So it says student max equals 65, got C4. So we can go and see that if else statement. C4 says, if the marks are greater than 61, but below 70. So you see that all of these statements have been ignored, you know, and this is the one which has been executed. Okay. And now there's something I brought here. You see the way I've concatenated. Actually, this is not called concatenation. This is string templates. So you can have, if you have two, if your string is enclosed in double quotes, not the single quotes, you can put the variable, you can enclose the variable in pair of curly brackets, and its value will be output. This one is another way of trying to write cleaner code. You know, not every time that you have to concatenate. There are times when you're supposed to concatenate. There are times when you're supposed to do substitutions. There's times when you can use templates like I've done this. This comma, let it not confuse you. It's just part of the output. Okay, that's why you see that student max is 65 and got C4. So the reason got is on the same line is because we don't have any breaking thing after here or before here. We don't have any breaking thing. So every time they will output this student max, and then they will add the grade they got. Okay. Or we can even change this grade is, we can change that to, instead of got, we can change it to grade. And just like that. So instead of saying got, so I don't know, Mr. Steven, if you are there, and tell me if you've been following. So there you go. Yeah, so let me go and change the max a bit to something like null. Okay, something like null, and we see what we're gonna get. Go to F9. Why? Because null is nothing, you know, so it's equal or greater than 0. But then if we put like a negative or, yeah, if someone does not get anything, what are they most likely to write? They may write something like that, but we can't write it that way. We would have to write it as a string. Let me see what this one will give us. You see, student marks is dash, not graded. So I think we've, I think somehow we've tested our code, and this gives us a chance to really understand how to compare things. All right. So guys, have you got this? That's the end of switch statement, I mean condition statements. The next we shall be looking at is loops, but for the conditional statements, I'm going to be giving you exercises through the week so that we grasp them. Okay, so you shouldn't really be worried. Okay, I need to hear from you because we are closing. First of all, have we gotten to understand why the switch statement did not work? And secondly, have we gotten to know our use case, the one Mr. Dumba brought? Have we gotten to know where it is best done, you know, which is here? Because this one, because with the if statement, it is just gonna check for a true, you know, if it finds that line number, if it finds that student max is greater than or equal to 91, it says true. and it also checks but is this less than 100? True. So it has true here on this side and it has true on this side. So it outputs what is supposed to be output and ignores all of this code. All of this code will be ignored. Okay. But if this is a false and this one is true, the result is false. So it will go to this one, this condition, and like that, like that, like that, like that. All right. So tell me, talk to me, and we go. Are you speaking and I'm not hearing? Okay, I guess I have to let you go, guys. Thank you for attending. Please, Fen, if you are hearing me, share the attendance form and people get it and they make sure that they feel it. And that's it. Sharon, there's something you had said that what if we do this? Yeah, like I said, these comparisons that we were putting in the switch statements don't result in the value we are comparing with. The value at the level of the switch, here at the level of the switch, they put 0, okay? They put 0 here. Then they check, is 0 here? If 0 is the one which is, if 0 is the one which is here, they output this, you know? But if we use these comparisons, every time here, they will either find true or false as the value. And when they find true or false here, and come back to compare it to this one, they find that here you have a different thing. So the switch statement starts malfunctioning. Sometimes it will give you the correct answer, sometimes the wrong output. So the best is to use it for the best use case, which is comparing things without using those comparison operators, unless what you have here is true, you know, that's when you can use the things, these things. If the value we had here was true, and here we do student marks, okay, then we would be able to use things like this. Okay, it would be a correct use case. All right, Kali, Fanny, have you shared? Are you guys hearing me?
Sorry. I was hearing you speak, but then my computer froze. I had to join again with the phone now so that I am able to speak.
Hello, probably your internet has gone off or something. I heard you for a bit and then I lost you again. Kindly share the link if you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I was saying I'm sorry. You were speaking and you were asking us if you had what to say, but then my PC just froze, so I had to join now with a phone, so I'm able to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Yeah. So let's get going.
So thank you so much for the session. Has it ended?
Yes, it's ended. Kindly share the attendance form.
Okay. Thank you for the session. As I share the attendance list, and can one person just appreciate David for all these efforts he's putting in. I feel like,
thank you.
You know, just give a nice speech.
No, it's all good. Thank you, guys. Yes, what are you saying, Sharon?
Thank you. Now I have a question for my people tomorrow. Every time I learn something, I can ask them.
Your your workmates, okay. Yeah, and by
Yes,
the
and
way,
I challenge them.
and this is gonna that same that same behavior is going to happen even if you are using JavaScript. You know, it's going to happen. You are going to get malfunctioning switch statements if you don't know the use case to use it for. Always be sure to know that the value that is in the switch here is supposed to be among the values you are having in the case. Okay. Otherwise, if you think that it's all about the true or false, then you are dead. Okay, thank you, Sharon. Let me hope you find brilliant minds there. And David, yeah, you are welcome. I've seen your chat, your message in the chat. Please don't go without filling the attendance. And guys, you know what we shall do? Somewhere in the middle there, we shall build our own attendance form. So before we go to WordPress plugin development, we shall build a web app, a small web app on PHP alone, okay? And you see how powerful PHP is. All right, and then, okay, so I've not heard from, today I've not heard Peter's voice, but I think it's all okay. Yeah, it's already off. So Stephen,
He
thank
was
you for
in
the
town.
Zoom. Oh, Bambi.
He said he was
Stephen,
attending in a cafe.
oh, that's real hard work. Peter.
Oh.
Yeah, because I can imagine going to the cafe instead of going to home. So before we go, let me share this, guys, and you take the link. You know, I would have used the GitHub, but I understand that some of you don't know GitHub, and I doubt whether we shall study it in this PHP. Yeah. Mentorship. So that's why I'm doing this. So I'm sharing the link in the chat. Now I don't know where you are going to get, let me share it in the group. Yes, I've shared it over there. And let me also share it in the chat. Okay, that's it, guys. See you next time.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Okay, good night too. Bye.
Bye.